Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're talking about your spirit guides. That's right. Today we're talking about your spirit guides, and I have found that there's really kind of 8 ways that your spirit guides may be blocked by you. You may be the thing that's blocking your spirit guides from coming in and communicating with you or talking to you or helping you. I know. So we're going to talk about it. Kind of your angels, your spirit animals, or your guides, meaning your guardian angels, your archangels that are with you, are supposed to be connecting with you and communicating with you, and kind of really offering you their suggestions, their guidance for your life, kind of encouraging you. I always think of it as kind of like the crazy cheerleaders on the side, kind of like always like, you can do this, you can change anything that you choose to change, or there's things that you want to do, yes, we want to go with you. And so kind of the best way to do it is everything from your attitude to even things that you eat or think could be affecting your connection to your spirit guides. So let's talk about them, because we want to remove those out of the way. If we're aware of them and we're kind of like, yes, that is a problem for me, let's move it out of the way so it no longer works as a block or a barrier to what you want. I will say kind of the first one is like inexperience or lack of knowledge. And so many times, like, people think, oh, it's not a big deal or anything like that. Meditation is the number one thing that you can do to kind of release that blockage or barrier. And I tell people kind of to start with 3 to 5 minutes a day. It's the best way to start. Kind of start with on one end of your day or the other, morning or evening, it doesn't matter. Start 3 to 5 minutes a day. And then kind of go from there. Once you're really good at 3 to 5 minutes, move into like 7 to 8 minutes. Move into 9 to 12 minutes. And kind of get to about a good 15 or 20 minute meditation on one end of your day. Then start adding 3 to 5 minutes on the other side of your day. If you started in the morning, start in the evening now. If you start in the evening, start in the morning. So kind of like adding that to your day and kind of amplifying your meditation and kind of keep amping up the time that you're doing this. It's going to heighten your senses. It's going to really increase your awareness of what's going on around you. And it really does help you kind of relax, so that you can get those connections easier. If your mind is constantly going, you're never going to make it. You're never going to kind of make that connection with the other side. So kind of understanding that your inexperience of being able to meditate for long periods of time are doing that. I will tell you that a lot of people are like, well, you must meditate for hours. I can meditate for hours. I literally can. And that's a fun thing to do. But it's not something I do every day. I usually meditate 3 to 5 minutes a day, probably 20 times a day. It's one of those, I'm amping up for kind of some new levels for me that are coming in. And that's the fun part, is there's always new levels to learn. There's always something new to kind of allow that energy to come in with you and kind of like bringing in that energy of what's coming up next for you. Kind of when you're in meditation, you kind of really learn to open up your heart, your mind, and kind of allow them to come through. Them meaning your angels, your guides, your spirit animals, your guardian angel, your archangels with you, allowing them, that group, to come in and communicate with you. The more you quiet your mind, the easier this happens. So it's kind of really allow things. The next one is kind of organization. A lot of times when people start to meditate for longer periods of time, everything else in their life kind of goes a little funky, crazy. Important. Really schedule the time that works best for you. Maybe it's not in the morning. Maybe it's not in the evening. Maybe it's you wake up 10 minutes early to meditate. Maybe you do it while your child is napping in the middle of the day. Take the time that you require and schedule it for yourself. This is kind of like the me time. This is what I need to do for me to make me feel healthy and balanced. One of the other ones is I would really kind of tell someone to like get into yoga, and it doesn't mean you need to go to a yoga studio. If you do, that's great, but allowing those poses to really open up your energy, and you could do that along with meditation. Not completely do one or the other, but do both, and finding a few poses that really open up your energy or really connect with you. One of the other ones I would say is kind of feng shui can be really helpful in this area. Opening up your energy, you can only do that when you feel secure in a location, and feng shui can help with that. So you can find charts all over the internet on feng shui and how to do this, or having someone come in and feng shui your house can be really important. But also setting up your space. Where are you going to meditate? Where is that location for you? And setting up that feng shui space first, and then adding other aspects of your house and kind of allowing that energy to kind of come in some very powerful energetic ways is really important. My next one is really like, what do you expect to happen? Kind of what do you expect to happen in this area? A lot of us have so many life directions. Like, I would love to do this and this and this and this and this and this. Pick one and do that first. Run at that one first. And when you're getting there, or you've gotten there and you're kind of like, okay, this is starting to run out, I need the next one. Allowing that next one to come in, allowing that energy to come in, and kind of really bonding with your angels and guides. When they're kind of showing you this is the direction you want to go, you're going to hear them communicating with you. You're going to hear them giving you those messages. You're going to hear them opening up that energy. You're going to feel them in that aspect. You're going to feel them in that way. So that's the really important part, kind of really opening up your energy and really bonding with your angels and guides. A couple of kind of like side notes in this area is your angels and guides will never speak bad to you, ever. They are going to be kind of like your comedian that walks around with you. They are going to say things that are funny to you. It may not be funny to anybody else, but they're not anybody else's angels and guides, are they? They're yours. So they're going to say funny things to you. Even if you make a mistake, even if you kind of screw everything up, they're going to be like, okay, you messed it up. Let's get on board and let's get this cleared up. They're never going to be like, you're a horrible person, or you did this wrong, or you did this wrong. They are going to be your biggest cheerleaders no matter what you're doing. And they're going to want to kind of like push you in some healthy ways to kind of make some changes, and allow that to come in and allow them to communicate with you. If you start hearing voices of like, this is not good, or you're not a good person, you're talking to the wrong side up there. You were talking to the opposing team's cheerleaders, because your team is always going to be positive. Even if you've messed things up, they're still going to be positive. It's really important. The next one is take your time. There is no rush to kind of, I've got to get this done today. I have to get it done by 4 o'clock today, or I have to get this done by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. I've got to run around. Allow yourself time to make some changes, because if you're pushing yourself in some very strange energy ways, it's going to make you very anxious, very stressed out, and that's not what you want. You want things to go easy, and kind of building up your trust with your angels and guides, trusting them more and more, trusting you more and more is going to strengthen your bond with them much more than anything else. Having them help you cook dinner or add a new recipe or whatever it is, kind of getting in that issues and that part of it with you are going to really help you. The stronger the bond you have with your angels and guides, the more you're going to start to kind of see kind of their influence in things like, wow, this was a coincidence and this is kind of interesting that this happened, or wow, I didn't expect to run into this person today and I did, and they had the most amazing message for me. It's really important to kind of know that that is coming in for you, and allowing those messages and those people that you run into, kind of getting it with their energy and kind of like what messages are they gifting to you and what are they changing. The next thing that will keep you from your angels and guides is drama. Yeah. So many people have chaotic lives, they have chaotic relationships, they have chaotic jobs, they have chaotic situations all the time. And I will tell you, they are literally the most horrible things to kind of keep you distracted, because you're kind of like, I need to deal with this, and I need to go here, and I need to pick up this, and I need to do this. All of those little distractions aren't important. They're really not. They're really not important. So kind of letting that drama and trauma go. When you start getting agitated and feeling like you need to like close yourself off, or kind of like, I can't deal with all this that's going on, that's kind of giving you a sign that something's wrong. And a lot of times when all of that's going on, you cannot connect to your spirit guides at all. And so that's kind of a sign like, hey, you're so out of balance at this point. You have got to get back in balance. And one of the best ways to do that is start clearing out the drama and the trauma and the chaos now. So allowing things to go. If there's people in your life that bring that in, maybe limit the time that you're around them. Whatever you can do to kind of limit the time that they're really disrupting your life. Try to find things that are bringing peace and love and positivity to you. Those are the things you really want in your life. The things that are bringing kind of negativity and fear and feeling unworthy or self-acceptance or any of those kind of things, like kind of like leave those alone. And sometimes it's certain people. There are people that come in and they have that energy just around them, and so it's one of those are the ones you may want to kind of trim that relationship back a little bit, so it's not so emotionally straining on you. It's really important. Our next one is food. I know there are so many things, and I was reading an article the other day, and it was really interesting because they were talking about, like, in the 1940s and 50s, you barely heard of anybody being allergic to things. Like, you barely, like, once in a while you heard things. And now that's all I ever hear from people is, I'm allergic to this, and I'm allergic to bread and dairy and this and da-da-da-da. Well, that comes in with a lot of craziness because it comes in from GMOs. Things that have been genetically modified can really hurt your system. And the more you ingest those and the more you take those in your system, the more they can really upset your system. So anything that you take that you're allergic to, if you can avoid them, it's going to keep your energy higher, which is going to keep you more connected to your angels and guides. I will say a lot of sugars or sweeteners, especially if they've been bleached, that's something that's really important, especially like flours that have been bleached or rice that's been bleached. A lot of alcohol will do this as well. And I'm going to link this to a video that I did not too long ago about how much alcohol can affect you and what can it do for your angels and guides as well. So that's kind of interesting. Anything that is like processed foods, canned foods, fast foods, all that kind of stuff can really kind of bring in a lot of negative energy to us. So that can be really a big one for us. The next one is our egos. Now, I've heard this for years, that our egos are horrible and we need to like squish them down. They're not. They're not. We may have to kind of move them off to the side a little bit so we can focus on what's in front of us. But really kind of the best way to do it is kind of focusing in on your ego's there for a reason. Your ego is there to kind of keep you protected. Your ego is there to help you with so many different things. Now, some people have a huge ego, and that may be kind of needed to not getting rid of completely, but need to come down to a better size. When your guides are around you, they're going to help you kind of focus in on, this isn't just for you, this is for everybody, which takes that ego aspect out of it. Let's leave that off to the side. That's not where we want to go with this. You want to have faith in your guides that they're showing and sharing the right information with you. And if your ego's up there, you're going to start fighting that information, like it's not the right time, or I might fail, or whatever else. That's the ego side. You need to push it to the side and really kind of allow the perfect energy or that perfect amount of ego to come in and support you through all of this. That's kind of the fun part of it, is kind of allowing the ego in the right amount to come in and focus with you. It's really important. The last barrier is the most important barrier, and that's the past. So many of us grew up hearing that we should not talk to our angels and guides. We should only go through a priest or a pastor to do that. It's not something that we should do on our own. It's something that we should do with them included in part of the situation. That's up to you. To me, that's more of a religious thing, but it's one of those, it's something to understand. So many of us saw angels and guides when we were kids. We saw ghosts when we were a kid. And a lot of times we were like, close it down, it's scary. And we get afraid. And so when we try to think of now of like opening up that energy one more time to this, we don't want to do it. It's like, that's scary. That is totally scary. Don't want to, don't care to, I'm terrified. With that type of energy, yes, it's going to be scary. It's going to be scary to allow that to come in. Doesn't mean that it has to scare you forever, because it's one of those, if you're connected to your angels and guides, like I said earlier, they're going to talk to you in the sweetest tone. They're going to talk to you that, like, I swear it sounds like your own comedian group with you all the time. They are funny. They're uplifting. They're really choosing to bring you to where you have to be, to learn the lessons you have to learn. They're not going to bring you into a place where you feel bad or feel rejected in some way. They're going to bring you in the best possible way. They are going to bring you the best possible energy and the best possible connections on the other side. They're going to be opening the door for you, going, "Pa, here you go. This is exactly what you wanted to know. This is exactly where you wanted to be," or "this is the exact book that you needed to read next," or "wait, right there is a person that you really had to talk to." That's the amazing part of all of this, is really having those connections with your angels and guides can really help you. And sometimes our past, what we've learned in this life, can kind of keep us from that. I will guarantee you that they're choosing to make the connection with you. All you have to do is reach out. They're there for you. Thank you so much. Let's do some angel cards and do some messages from the other side of kind of, is there any other blockages that may keep us from our spirit guides? Is there any other blockages that would keep us from connecting with them? So I've got 4 cards coming forward. First one is miracles. They love to talk to us, and they love to show us miracles all the time to kind of keep our energy high. So finding a miracle is a great thing. It's not keeping you from what you really want to do. But sometimes if you're going, they just got a miracle, so there's not another miracle for me. Now that's your ego side coming in and letting you know, like, hey, I need to keep this in perspective. If they had a miracle, that means there's another one for me, but mine's going to be different. Maybe it's going to be bigger. Maybe it's going to be better. That's more fun. Blessings. Your angels and guides love to bless us with so many different things. They love to communicate with us. They love to bless us in so many different areas of our lives. They love to bring in things. So ask them. Ask them what you want to hear. Ask them the questions. Really hear that. Asking them, like, I'm saying today, I'm going to create a cup of coffee. Today, I'm going to create someone gifting me a food item. Today, I'm going to create having the perfect parking space. So no matter where I go today, I am going to have the best parking space in the whole place. And so sometimes people think, oh, well, that's the one right up front. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's the double big one that's around the corner that you don't have anybody parking near you. That could be the best one around. So that could be fun. The next one is study. Study what you want. Study your connection with your angels and guides. It's a relationship. Like every relationship has to be nurtured, loved, accepted. Hearing on both sides. Not only hearing what they have to say, but telling them what you want. Communication is very, very important with your angels and guides, and it's really important in some really amazing aspects of just learning what you want, what you require in your life is really important. And then listen, giving them time to give you the messages or send you the symbols or the signs of, yes, this is the next place where you want to go. answered prayers. So many of us have answered prayers, and so many of us have been praying for something for so long. I guarantee you, if something's on your heart, if you've been praying for it for a long period of time, you didn't put it there by yourself. Your creator, and you placed it there. And you have to ask your creator, okay, well, if this is what I want, if I want to open my own business, whatever that is, bless me in this area. Find me the right people, find the right connections around me. I'm willing to do my part of it, which is these 8 blockers that we could deal with, and bringing that in. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.